Alright guys, so we're going to be looking at a story arc, which is what 90% of stories are going to follow this same kind of progression. So when we're looking at this, here are our notes. Number one, the first part is called the introduction, and you find out two things here. So in this image, this is the introduction, and you find out the setting of the stories, and you find out the characters of the story. You're introduced to it. Importantly for number two, this is going to be called the rising action, and this is where the problem or the conflict is introduced. The problem or the conflict, meaning everything's going fine, you just kind of get to know the characters, and then bam, the problem happens. Something bad kind of comes up. For three, the top of our story arc, we have the climax. Most of you guys know this. The word that we should use instead is turning point, and you can kind of see that. So everything is kind of going one direction, then snap, something happens, it changes direction. Okay, so this is where there's a problem, it gets real bad, real bad, something really bad, and then it starts getting a little bit better, right? Something happens that changes. Usually it's an internal change in the narrator. Something happens that causes them to change. It's a turning point. Okay, so A is turning point. Something changes. Number four, this is where the problem is resolved or fixed. It starts to be resolved or fixed. And then finally, the bottom piece is called the conclusion or the resolution. You can call it either one, conclusion or resolution. And that's the final piece. So your final thing should look kind of like this. Nothing really happening right here, the introduction, then the action starts picking up, it starts getting exciting, more exciting as the problem's there, big problem, turning point, character realizes something, changes somehow internally, real quick and fast they change, then the falling action starts falling, the problem starts to get fixed because the narrator changes, and finally we found out how the problem actually ends. Okay, so this is your story arc. You will be expected to know this and be expected to use the exact, precise vocabulary in conversations and in written work. Okay, thank you for watching. Now apply it to a story.